Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween, everybody. Halloween used to be a fun time. Unfortunately enough, you grow out of it. So, with that being said, I really wouldn't have a YouTube channel, or I wouldn't be good at editing, or even if I want to say I'm good at it, I wouldn't really have any type of video knowledge if it wasn't for the horror industry and horror movies. After I stopped playing hockey, for a brief 4 to 5 years, I was into everything horror. I was into filmmaking. I was into grabbing a camcorder and let's go to the woods and make stuff. So Halloween to me is, brings me back to my roots. Now that being said, much older, technology's got a lot better, and now I'm making GoPro goalie videos, and I love it. I mean, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot out of me. It takes me. I mean, last video I edited, game footage, the scrub, and all that stuff. I took me about a week and like 2 days. So you're talking about almost 10 days. It's a lot of work. It's almost a second job. So since it's Halloween, I wanted to share a clip that I made back in, I want to say, I mean, I'm going back. I graduated in high school in 2005. This clip I made 2006, 2007 ish with my buddy Craig Paddock, who sadly passed away. R.I.P. Craig. So, this is a clip when I was a lot younger, a lot skinnier, a lot dumber. It basically, so he went to college, Craig. He went for audio visual. He was all about music, bands, recording, the sound. So he had a professor in college who was like, "Oh, I want you to make not like a trailer, but like make some type of video production." And he had no idea what to do. I mean, this is before smartphones. This is before podcasts were big. I mean, like, you had a camcorder, you had the cassettes, you had to buy the software that cost a fortune, you had to put it in your PC. Now everything can be done by your phone, an app. So, technology's gotten so much better. With that being said, I want to show off just a clip real quick, and here it is. I know I laugh when I see that clip. It brings back good times. So that was filmed in the actually. I just I just. So that clip was filmed in the cemetery. It's pretty much like adjacent to the cemetery. It's like the woods. We used to cut through the cemetery, cut through that piece of woods to get to the train station when it brought us into Boston. It was like a soccer field, and it was a baseball fields. So we'd have to cut through that. But they had this woods, and I always thought it was creepy, and you don't go there at night, and oh, things happening. No, nothing ever happened then. Nobody. It was a walking trail, but it was just creepy. It was the old part of the cemetery over in Melrose, Massachusetts. So my buddy Craig and I and this kid Travis, we all were like, all right, let's do this. And the funny thing was, This was Craig's project. Craig was like, I don't know what to do. I can make it look good, sound good, but like you're the artist here. So I was like, all right, fine. So I was like, let's make a horror movie. Let's do this. I love this. I love the theatrics, the blood, the gore, all that stuff. So our first shot was basically me actually taking it in the chest and then in my throat slit. And I was wearing a darker like shirt, but like I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was a button up, and then it was a black shirt underneath. So the blood really didn't look like it was coming out, and it kind of I kind of wanted it to look like Tom Savini's kill in Friday the 13th Part 4, the hitchhiker, when she got it in the back of the neck, which was, I mean, brutal. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's a brutal scene. But I was like, oh yeah, like that's scary. I wanted it to be scary, nasty, bloody. So the original video we had, my buddy Craig showed it to his professor, and the professor was just like, I think it was professor, excuse me, teacher, professor. I don't know what his rank was. I'm sorry. Originally showed it to him, and he was like, this is way too gory. This is way too bloody. Like I really can't show this. But he gave me pointers, and I was there. I'm just a friend. I don't even go here. And he was like, all right, you did this right, you did that right, but change this, change that, change this, and do this. So I mean, it's not really smart being, we were what, 19, 20, 21, not quite 21, walking into a cemetery with like a butcher knife. So we went with the sledgehammer. And eventually, what I wanted to do was like, I get like tied from behind and then the throat sliced, but it was too gory. You can't show this at a fucking community college. So that's when we kind of just were like, okay, let's dumb it down a little bit. So we had the sledgehammer. So if we ever got caught by the police, like, what the fuck are you kids doing? It's like, oh, we just have a sledgehammer we found. Yeah, the fake blood. That was corn syrup with a shit ton of red dye and Kool-Aid, the packets. So yeah, that was good times. So yeah, I look back at that one a while. Like, that was good. So I wanted to be like a preppy dude getting killed in the war. So I had to get a lighter shirt so the blood would stain it, and yeah, so that's what we have. Like, we never shot a full movie or anything. It was just that like one scene that we were presenting, and I believe Craig got a standing ovation, and got, I wasn't there when he showed it to everybody, but I believe he got a decent response out of it. So my whole thing is how it comes back to hockey. It's like, I love the horror movies. I love the telling the story, and I believe that's what I do with my videos. I don't just be all cute and just like, okay, here you go. Here's clickbait. No, I want to tell a story. This is from start to finish, opening and closer. So that's how I bring it together. And my sub list doesn't show it, but I've had a couple people tell me, like, who aren't, they watch YouTube, but they're not, YouTubers, I should say. And they're like, oh, wow, you got some talent. You're pretty good. And I'm just like, thank you. I appreciate that. I still wake up and go to work 9 to 5, but, it's nice to get a little, yeah, I was actually pretty good. So I appreciate that. But no, yeah, I love Halloween, and I felt like I had to share it. And it's funny too, because last Halloween I played 2 games on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday. Halloween's on Monday. I played in Haverhill at a pickup, and I played over in my league game in Everett. So I always somehow end up playing hockey on Halloween. I remember one year, it was actually in Everett. Had to be 2000. It was 2000. It was Halloween 2013, because I had hernia repair in July of 2013. So I was playing in the league game. I was playing for this team called, I believe they were called Bears First or Bear O'Clock. I forget the name. basically they put an ad out saying, "Hey, we need a goalie. We'll pay you $50. Halloween night." It was on a random Tuesday, Wednesday. I remember it was raining out, so there was really no trick or treaters. I don't know what was going on. I was just like, okay, fine. I went and I played the game in Everett. It was actually in Everett, Massachusetts. So I get there, and there's like maybe like 7 guys. I was just like, oh shit, we're gonna get our asses kicked. So I see the captain, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for coming." I'm like, "Oh, so where's the money?" He's like, "Well, here's 20." And I'm like, "Okay, where's the rest of it? You owe me 50. Where's the 30?" He's like, "How about I pay the rest after we win, and if we win?" And I'm like, I started pulling off the straps. I'm like, "I just go home then." And he's just like, "Oh, here you go." Oh, he got so pissed off. This kid was pissed off. He's like, "Whatever." But you put out the ad to say, "I need a goalie Halloween night. $50." Yet you're mad when you have to pay me. I think some of these guys that put these ads out that like offer money or like want a goalie to walk in and be like, "Yeah, that's good, that's good. I just want to play." Fuck you, dude. Pay me. So I got the money. I actually got the win. We ended up winning like 8-3. It was the funniest game. We played a team, and of course the other name of the team was the Diablos on fucking Halloween, right? And these guys were just matching socks, matching pants, matching jersey. They come out flying. We went up 5-0 in the first period. I remember second period. We played like 15 minutes, so 15-minute periods running to clock. And I remember I lit in a muffin from like almost at the center ice. I mean, if anyone's ever played in Everett, I mean they changed it thankfully, but that ice was a fucking pond. It was just like water up to here. You're like, what the fuck? I remember this muffin coming at me, and I go down to catch it, and it just goes right through me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I was so embarrassed, and I'm still recovering from my surgery, so I was just like, okay, whatever. So yeah, we ended up destroying them, and I was just like, okay, whatever, cool. So, um, everybody, thanks for watching. Sorry I was rambling, but happy Halloween 2022. Cheers.